What's going on, Packers fans? Aaron Nagler here on a Tuesday morning. I have my coffee here because I've been reading a lot of folks here on the internet, Packers fans being very upset at Jayden Reed because he's complaining about the drafting of Matthew Golden and upset that he's not considered wide receiver one and all sorts of suppositions because of a tweet that Adam Schefter put out yesterday. I'll throw it up here for you guys. You'll see it if you haven't seen it yet. I'm sure you have. Most Packers fans that are online have. It reads, Packers GM Brian Gutekunst met last week with Jayden Reed's agent Drew Rosenhaus to clarify the wide receiver's status in Green Bay after the team drafted Matthew Golden and Savion Williams. The team said it will not affect Reed's status as its top receiver per source. Now, you don't have to draw too bright a line to understand that this is Drew Rosenhaus putting this out there. And I've seen a lot of people asking, why would he do this? Or why would he want this out via Schefter, etc.? I think the most important thing to understand here is Drew Rosenhaus is Jayden Reed's agent as of very recently. I know David Cantor pretty well, going back a couple years now, and he had been Reed's agent up until even a couple weeks before the draft. That I know for sure. So I'm not sure when this switch occurred, but this is the first I've heard of it, that Jayden had switched agents to Drew Rosenhaus. And clearly, this is Drew flexing his muscles a little bit, saying, stick with me, kid. I can move the needle with the media and getting the message out there that you're the Packers' top guy. Now, I do not doubt for a moment that Brian Gutekunst and Drew Rosenhaus had a conversation. But I do doubt that Brian Gutekunst at any point said, oh, yeah, Jayden Reed's our top receiver. He's our number one. Certainly doesn't sound like something Brian Gutekunst would say. I have no doubt he did reiterate how important Jayden is to them and how the organization feels about him. And I think that's a pretty important point also, that if you look at how the tweet is worded, I saw a lot of people jump into conclusions immediately, casting it in the light that Jayden Reed was complaining, which it's not. It's Brian Gutekunst being proactive, knowing that they have drafted two receivers and understanding that that might ruffle some feathers in the locker room and with the current receiving group. And he reached out to Drew Rosenhaus to discuss Jayden Reed. And he most likely did that with some other agents as well who didn't put it out there publicly. But again, this is Drew showing his new client, I can move the needle with the media. Just watch me. And it's funny because I put out my response to this on Twitter as well. And a couple hours later, I had a text from someone inside 1265 Lombardi asking, have you talked to someone? Because this is exactly it. Spot on. And no, I haven't talked to anybody, but it makes the most sense if you just, draw a line, connect the dots, so to speak. But I do want Packers fans to take a breath here because it's not Jayden Reed complaining in any way, shape, or form. And as we've talked about a lot here on this channel all throughout the offseason already, the competition is a good thing. The fact that Jayden Reed dropped as many balls on third down as he did last year is reason enough for him to refocus heading into 2025. But now the fact that there are two young buck wide receivers coming after him, yeah, hopefully that foments more competition, more focus on the gig, and gets him to the heights that the Packers expected in year two. And hopefully that arrives in year three. I did just want to kind of put this out there because I understand it's an emotional thing each and every offseason. When any headline hits, Packers fans instantly are all in on every bit of news. This is a kind of weird way of delivering the fact that, yeah, Brian Gutekunst is being proactive. And as Corey, my co-founder here at Cheesehead TV, pointed out yesterday, if you're a general manager, as Brian Gutekunst is, and you've seen this type of thing fester and become a problem in the past or in other organizations, yeah, you want to get on top of it. You want to be proactive. That's a good thing. It's a very good thing that Brian Gutekunst is trying to get ahead of this kind of thing. And I'm sure when he did talk to Drew Rosenhaus, he probably understood that there was a decent chance that Drew was going to put something out there. Again, I don't see a bad guy in this situation. I understand the angles, but I did want to kind of cast some light into what is happening here instead of having Packers fans freak out about another drama with another player on the green and gold, which this most certainly is not. So that's all there is to say about that. Please hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide.